I'm going to showcase some interesting interactions with the new Scion jewel. One that gives +1 to all charges and 400 increased duration. Currently, I'm using double void batteries for the extra power charges and doing a power charge, endurance charge, and frenzy charges. I think I got 10 power charges, 7 endurance, and 6 frenzy. You could use a badge of the Brotherhood, but that kind of defeats the free frenzy charge you get from the jewel, so I'm just using something like this. Nothing that spectacular. I think it's like an exalt for something like this. Something exactly like this doesn't exist. Oh, okay, well, I got it for an exalt. Someone undersold that a lot. Void batteries are pretty basic. This is pretty basic. 6 link, you're looking at probably 4 exalts. This is just a 1 to maximum power charges. I think that was 40 chaos. This bad boy, however, is my most expensive piece of gear. I got it for 8 exalts, but I doubt any exist on the market. For just a frenzy charge, you're looking at 1 exalt, but if you want to throw this spell crit, yeah, it don't exist. It's hard to get a double corrupted. I saw it, I bought it, and then I made this build. There's other gloves you can do. The ones that give you more damage based on the amount of charges you have. Surge binders, I think it's called. That's pretty good. I'm using this because it has the flask charge and effect duration. And I am doing the Pathfinder for flash charges. And the Assassin just to add a little more crit and get power charges and crit. Originally, I was doing a Gladiator for the physical damage over time and the block. And I was using this gear setup, which gives you an endurance charge, a frenzy charge, and a power charge every 6 seconds. And then this, which is just a piece of armor that has +1 to power charges. And the damage was pretty good. But the cool thing about this is, as you can see, it will slowly start to just give you charges. And for the most part, you have unlimited charges. It's kind of rad. And if you ran 2 of these wands, you would have unlimited charges basically all the time. But every now and then you get unlucky. And within 50 seconds, you won't get 1 of these charges. Doesn't happen that often. But when I run into boss rooms, I typically throw on this one. And you can pop it. And it will boost up all your charges. So if you're doing something that doesn't allow you to kill enemies to gain charges, you put this flask on. Like any of the boss effects or boss events, you put this flask on and it'll keep all your charges up. And let's just wait a little bit and pop it again, and you'll be able to see what my damage looks like. I got a few power charges to get, but the damage is pretty strong. Flat damage is 1.4 with this setup. It's a little bit more, but not too much more. I don't have anything like elemental penetration or anything like that. Auras I'm running, most of them are off because I weapon swapped, but doing, oh, here they are. Zealotry, Hatred, Petrified Blood to give me low life. And then the Herald of Ash, Defiance Banner, and the other one's on the other one. Stack up them power charges. And it's pretty rad because look at the time on here. It's a pretty awesome jewel. I like it. All right, so when I got the void batteries, this is when the damage kind of goes out of control. I think I got all my auras on. Oh, missing that one. I'm just leveling up that. All right. Now we can see 2.3, and I'm still missing a power charge, which I'll get when I actually run the map. Mission 2 power charges. All right, and then I do some swapping. Concentrated effect for bossing, and then increased area of effect for mapping. So let's just grab a map. I'll demonstrate. We'll do a Conqueror. I think Drox will be a good demonstration. Gain power charge. Yeah, this one should be fine. The only thing you really need to worry about is the first little few seconds when you got to build up your charges. As you can see, got a ton of charges already. With that increased AoE, clearing them out pretty good. For the most part, you could do a real cheap version of this without using the pair of gloves that I have. Do a lot of damage for a very inexpensive cost. Those 2 jewels that I bought were each 1 chaos a piece. I mean 1 exalt a piece. No one's really using them, and you can just get a ton of charges. I imagine you could probably do some type of discharge build doing this. I don't know exactly what you would use to get the charges to recharge quickly. I think there's a couple interactions between an amulet and a ring. Typically, when I run this build, I do the passive that reduces damage that everyone takes and reduces the damage that I take and increases the damage. I just realized I could show it. I don't need to talk about it. A lot of times I'll take this one because I do so much damage that the extra damage is wasted on most of these mobs, so I can get the survivability of 50% or 25% less damage. And you do that and you basically don't die for the most part. It's pretty handy, but I want to demonstrate the full power on the Droxus, so I took it off. Pretty good survivability. You will die from time to time, but I imagine if you suit this up and you get the even better gear, get to 4,500 life area around there, 5,000 life, you'll be surviving significantly better. Doing mostly, it's almost like a aura build because I'm stacking a lot of aura of effects, so those auras that I have increase a lot of damage. I'm not really working on the damage over time. I'm stacking physical damage and then doing a lot of physical damage as elemental damage.
Can I not have but a moment's respite?
You see the AoE is pretty good. A lot of it is because of my power charges. I mean my endurance charges. Oh, let me swap my skill over. Concentrated effect. See, bosses are pretty easy.
I've killed countless thousands.
Got 20 seconds to kill this dude.
Weight of law. I am the law.
And there we go. Pretty strong, pretty good.
My kingdom.
I enjoy it. It's unique. I don't think too many people are building this build, so if you want to be a hipster like me, be a hipster like me. I'll go through a little bit my gear just so you can see it again. Pretty basic stuff. Nothing special about my void batteries. They're not even high rolled. I mean, apparently that's expensive. Something like that. And then I use replica Innas. Power charges, gain a bunch of regen, movement speed. Pretty strong boots. Took forever to be able to finally craft the maximum endurance charges because almost nobody does these. So as you can see here, nothing listed. So you either have to get really lucky and watch for a long time or craft them yourself. I think it took me about 100 boots to finally get the endurance charge, which was a pain. This is how I decided to run it. Getting life, physical damage here, getting the power charges there, some basic jewels, efficiency, and then just a corrupted blood with a little bit of, I was using a shield, getting the block, hitting some crit nodes, doing this mostly so I can run all 3 of these for the life, mana, and increased damage per aura. Then large cluster jewels. I got pretty lucky with the chaos and cast speed along with the physical, so I just hit them all with this one, and then introspection on both.